All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It's November 24th. We have a million games on today's slate. We have 13 games, to be exact, but you guys are probably looking at the graphic next to me and going, you're squinting because we have so many games. You can barely see the text, but yeah, no NBA tomorrow because of Thanksgiving. So let's pile it all in here and Friday. Very excited about that, but I do want to start the video saying, thank you to you guys. It's Thanksgiving. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I do want to wish everyone sort of a happy Thanksgiving or a happy thanks, because even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, like I said, everyone does have something or some things in their life that really, they should be thankful for. And I think this is just a time period where we can acknowledge it and go out of our way to say thanks for those things. So everyone, happy Thanksgiving, or, just happy thanks overall. One thing that I can definitely say that I'm thankful for is you guys watching this video, interacting with the daily picks and everything like that. The ones that have, ridden with me in the lows when we're going like 0-5, but then also, riding right by my side and we're going 6-0, that type of thing. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who clicks on this video, whether you're one of those hate watchers that, can't help but hit the dislike button and then comment something negative in the comments. Thankful for you too. I love you. And then also, the ones I really appreciate are the people that, I'm recognizing the names in the community now, so on and so forth every single night. Big thanks there. So without further ado, let's jump into today's picks. Actually, before we do, let's recap last night. Last night we went 2-2. We split spreads and we split player props there. I think this channel is becoming a Ivan Zubac channel, though. He's hit every time we've taken his over in points, and he hits it by like a half point. So we'll take it. We also had the Knicks there over the Lakers. So 2-2 last night. The Heat just barely didn't cover in Covington, who we got plus odds. That was an underdog pick. Covington's under and rebounds also didn't hit. So 2-2 last night. Not going to kill us. Our win rate right now is still right around 53-54%, which is like so minimally. I'm sure if other people doing picks on YouTube and whatnot would be like, oh, well, we have a positive, units win rate and whatnot. Like so minimally. So minimally. We're treading water right now. Yes, we're positive, but I'm not just going to take that buzzword and be like, hey, we're positive on the season. 54%? We're so close. One bad night and we're in the red. You know what I mean? So I'm keeping it real with you guys, but hopefully we do start to increase that win rate as we go. But no more rambling. Let's jump into today's slate. We have the Suns taking on the Cavs. Cleveland, home dogs here, 7.5 points. The total's 210. Phoenix is just one of the best teams right now, if not the best team in the league, the way that they're playing. You can make an argument that they could beat the Warriors on any given night, right? They've won a million games straight, and Cleveland is on an absolute losing streak. But the games that Cleveland's had to lose here on this 4-game losing streak, Celtics, who have seemingly turned a corner, my Celtics, the Nets, Golden State, Brooklyn, this Cleveland team, though they are down, Colin Sexton, Darius Garland's going to be questionable. Markkanen's still banged up. I think he's going to play. Looks like Osman's going to play. This team still can sort of compete with good teams. They're still the covering Cavaliers to me. They've just had a rough stretch. But, and big but here, I'm not going to be taking them. I'm just giving you all that information on the Cleveland side of things. That's kind of turning me off from taking the Suns here. The Suns, in Cleveland, this Cleveland team actually has a better against the spread record than the Suns. They're 12-5-1. The Suns are 9-8. At some point, the Suns' losing streak has to end, and I'm only taking the Suns in games that I'm super comfortable taking them in, and this is not one of them. So this is a Cleveland or nothing game for me, and to be honest, it's going to be a nothing game because I still think it's kind of dumb to bet against the Suns at this point. It's just in terms of betting on them makes it difficult, and you guys know what I say. When I got World War III banging up in my head here, I'm probably going to stay away from the game. So I do think Cleveland can cover. I don't know if they will. They're a different team without Sexton, but I'm just staying away from this one. Sorry to burst your bubble there. First game of the day, I'm staying away from. But guys, keep an eye on the pinned comment. Like I always say, that's where my final plays are going to be. We take you through every single game here. I give you my leans, I give you my picks, I give you what I'm feeling, what my research indicates, and sort of my initial gut feeling on these games. But my final picks and what I'm actually playing, I post in the pinned comment. So make sure to check that out. Next up, we have the Pacers hosting the Lakers. Lakers on that back-to-back tough loss against New York last night. The Pacers are the Pacers are -3 here at home. 219 is the total. I think I would lean Indiana here. LeBron's probably coming back. Looks like Karis LeVert on the Indiana side of things is questionable. I would lean Indiana just strictly because this Pacers team's been so inconsistent, and they've I get both these teams have been inconsistent, to be honest, but I would lean the home team here, plus 3.5 points. Or minus 3.5 points. I do not love that. That's going to be pretty tough to get on the final ticket. But with LeBron coming back from the suspension, who knows if that throws another wrench into things. I know it's weird to say like, oh, LeBron's coming back. The Lakers could be worse than they were a couple nights ago. It's like, well, no, that's just kind of like this Lakers team almost doesn't know what to do with all of their guys. Russ plays well when LeBron's not there. LeBron plays well. Like it's kind of a you know what show. So this is going to be Pacers or nothing for me. I'm leaning that way, but it's going to be pretty tough to get Pacers on the board for me tonight. Next up, we have the Magic taking on the Hornets. Hornets 7.5-point favorites. The Magic, they have a losing record in terms of against the spread, obviously overall as well. But every time we've taken the Magic, they've hit, and they're actually not as bad as you would think. They're 7-11 against the spread here. The Hornets are 11-8. I think I would still lean Charlotte minus 7.5 points here. Charlotte with a big win, one that we called against Washington, and they were up by plenty. They kind of collapsed and still ended up winning by 6, I believe. They were getting a few points in that game. I like Charlotte in this spot. I know they're away. I know the Magic do cover big numbers time and time again, but Charlotte's actually on a really good streak here. They've won, I think, let's see, I got it up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the last 7 games, and that's against some damn good teams. Golden State, the Knicks, Atlanta, Washington last game. This Charlotte team is better than people think. I think they might be closer to what they were at the start of the year versus what they kind of have looked like as of late when they're going on that that dip and that losing streak. So I'm going to lean Charlotte here minus 7.5. Next up, my Celtics taking on the Brooklyn Nets. The Celtics are at home only getting 1 point. And I say only because I love the Celtics. You guys know that. I have a tough time betting against them. In fact, I will not be betting against them. But 1 point here doesn't seem like it's enough for me. Jaylen Brown's questionable. Josh Richardson's questionable. I just don't see the Celtics, being a safe bet here. And I want to give you guys educated takes on my end. I love the Celtics. I might end up taking them just because I want to ride with them tonight. But 1 point doesn't seem like it's enough. I know they've turned a corner, but this Nets team is by far and away one of the best teams in the league. They might have had some ups and downs to start the year, but they're just one of the best teams in the league, and you can't really argue that. So this is going to be a big-time stay-away game for me because I like the Nets in this spot better than the Celtics, but I can't get my green self to take that play. And I just keep it transparent with you guys. I know that that's not the best way to do things and bring bias into it, but I'm telling you guys right here, right now, if I were to take the Celtics here, it's totally biased. And if I were to take the Nets, I would hate myself because I love the Celtics. So this is going to be a tough one for me. Next up, we have the Rockets hosting the Bulls. Bulls 8.5-point favorites. Rockets at home here, getting that 8.5 points, but the Rockets have given up on basketball. I am confident in saying that. Bulls all day long. I don't see why someone wouldn't, take every team against the Rockets this year. You'd probably end up making money on the year. 6-10 against the spread. And Vucevic, now he's questionable. He could be back. Caruso's also questionable. And obviously Kevin Porter Jr. actually upgraded to probable, but he's banged up. And other than that, I think that this Rockets team just kind of, the life is out of them right now. So I'm going Bulls. That's probably going to be in the pinned comment. But check that anyways, guys. Minus 8.5 is the line I have right now. Might want to get on that before it goes up and up and up and up. Next up, Grizzlies at home taking on the Raptors. Grizzlies 3-point favorites here in terms of injuries. OG Anunoby still questionable. And let's see, Precious Achiuwa also questionable. Memphis, Dylan Brooks, and Melton out. Actually, Brooks looks like he's questionable, upgraded to questionable. But Melton is out. I don't love the Grizzlies here, but they are at home. They're 6-3 against the spread at home. This Raptors team is good against the spread away, but I think I do like the Grizzlies to kind of wear them out here. These are two teams that are going to play physical, and I think at home the Grizzlies are just going to be the more physical team. So -3, I don't love it, but that definitely has a chance of making the tick tonight. That's my lean on the Grizzlies tonight. Next, Bucks, 15-point favorites over the Detroit Pistons. That's just too big of a number. You guys know I hate double-digit spreads. Way too big of a number. Can they cover it? Yeah. Will they cover it? Probably. But I just can't get myself to take 15 points on an NBA ball team. All it takes is one bad night and the Pistons to have like an okay night, and you're looking at an easy win if you're on the Pistons side of things because 15 points is so many baskets. So I'm going to be off of this game. The total is 213.5. That's tough because I could totally see Detroit putting up 100 in Milwaukee. If they cover the spread, they're going to be looking at like 120 plus. So maybe a lean towards the over here, but I don't like anything in this game. That number is just too high. Next, we have the Timberwolves taking on the Heat. The Heat missing Oh, wow. So never mind. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe I'm the one missing something here. I thought that we were still going to see Bam Adebayo questionable, maybe Jimmy Butler questionable, Hero questionable, because the Heat are catching points here. The Heat are 1.5 point dogs against the Timberwolves. Is it just me, or every time we revisit, and the Timberwolves did win for us a couple nights ago, but every time we visit a Timberwolves game here, I'm like confused by the spread? I think someone that sets these lines has an in with the Timberwolves, and they're just afraid to give them bad lines, because the Heat, I get it, back-to-back, tough fought game last night, but against this Timberwolves team, and that you're giving Miami points? No, I'm all over the Heat tonight. Think about it. You can rewind 10 seconds or whatever. I literally thought there was injuries on the Miami side of things just by judging that line. I hadn't looked at it that closely yet, so I'm all over Miami. I mean, I know they're on a back-to-back. Minnesota's at home, but they have a losing against the spread record at home. Miami's a winning against the spread record away, and they played Detroit last night. Like, that shouldn't have been too tough of a competition. I know that it kind of went back and forth. They had to claw their way out of that one, but yeah. Miami all day long for me. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Every time we talk about a Timberwolves spread, I'm like, am I missing something here? And it seems like we're catching it. So Miami Heat over the Timberwolves here. I'm leaning Miami big time. Next up, Thunder. 12.5 point dogs at home against the Jazz. I think you just got to lean Jazz here. Don't love it. Probably won't make the ticket, but the Jazz, you're not going to bet against, especially with the Thunder. The Thunder are actually a decent against the spread team, but so are the Jazz. And that's a lot of points. That's probably why it's going to stay off the ticket. But you're crazy if you're taking the Thunder against the Jazz. The Jazz are one of the better teams in the league, and the Thunder are one of the worst teams in the league. So lean Jazz here. It's a big number. Probably going to keep it off the ticket. But Jazz minus 12.5. I don't hate it. In terms of a total, I do like the over there. I think that both these teams can easily score 105 points. Moving on to the Pelicans hosting the Wizards. Pelicans getting 4 points at home. Wizards, I mean, this is look, as I'm going through this slate for the the second or third time after my research here, I'm looking at them going, there's a lot of good teams playing bad teams tonight, getting numbers that are pretty damn fair. Like Washington -4 over the Pelicans. I think we're probably going to ride with that, but that is a tough number to play. Devontae Graham questionable on New Orleans. Bertans is upgraded to probable. I think I ride with Washington here, but it irks me because in my mind, I still think Washington is like a bad team. You know what I mean? I still think that Washington is Washington of years past, but no, they're just a better team this year. So I think we're going to be leaning Washington -4. That definitely has a chance to go on the ticket. Next up, we have the Spurs getting 4 points at home against the away Atlanta Pelicans, or Atlanta Pigeons. I tried to make my own joke where I call the Hawks the Pigeons away, but I just call them another NBA team. But the Hawks are -4 here on the road, and you won't catch me taking that. I'm not going to be taking the Spurs, but this Hawks team on the road just 0-9 against the spread at home. The Spurs team is not they're not a great team either. They're 4-12, one of the worst overall teams in the league. They are 8-8 against the spread, but I won't be taking the Hawks here. This is definitely a stay away game from me. If anything, I like the under, which right now it's at 223. I like the under there. Golden State Warriors hosting the Philadelphia 76ers. Golden State -10.5. If I could buy a point down to -9.5, I think I might be all over Golden State here. This Philadelphia 76ers team is just seeming like they're in disarray. Tobias Harris questionable, Seth Curry questionable, and then on the Golden State side of things, no major injuries. You still have Iguodala, who's banged up, looks like he's downgraded to out. But this Golden State team is just so good, and this 76ers team is just so inconsistent. So I'm going to be leaning Golden State big time here. I might buy a point down just to get it to win by double digits for me. Win by double digits for the peace of mind there. All right, last on the board tonight, we have the Kings taking on the Blazers. Portland -2 on a second night of back-to-back as the away team against the Kings, or +2. This Kings team looks like they are just completely spiraling. They've lost 4 out of their last 5 here, whereas the opposite here is for the Blazers. They've won 4 out of their last 5 against some decent competition. I'm going to lean Portland here. I know you might be seeing, the second night of a back-to-back thinking, I don't know about that one, but Portland just is the better team than the Kings here, and -2 is a very fair number. So I'm going to be leaning Trailblazers here. But that's going to do it for tonight's slate, guys. Again, keep an eye on the pinned comment for my final plays. But in terms of a hashtag of the day, yesterday the hashtag of the day was luck. And we had Frank Gomes in the comments saying Knicks -3.5 first half, Lakers under 104 team total, Blazers -3.5 first half, hashtag lock. He hit his hashtag of the day pick here. So shout out to Frank. Guys, today's hashtag is going to be hashtag thanks. Be thankful for what you got in life. Be thankful for what you got in life because it could always be worse. So hashtag thanks. Drop that in the comments and give me your locks tonight. I want to see what your tickets are looking like. And again, I hate to say it because I do trust you guys, but no edited comments will be entered into the random drawing to get a shout out in the next video because I never know, if you edited it to give yourself wins. I don't know. I don't want to say that, but YouTube will say, parentheses, this comment was edited. So no edited comments. Drop hashtag thanks, give me your place tonight, and you guys have a chance to be featured in the next video, which will be Friday. So we'll see you guys then. Excited for this slate tonight, and everyone have a great Thanksgiving. And if you don't celebrate, just be thankful for things in life. It's a great time to be thankful. It's a perfect time of fall, if you're in the New England area, everything like that. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Let's make some bread.